Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws. This is the round wrap edition. Full-length episode will be in the bio.
Short attention span edition. Terry.
Huh? What? And Dan, what better way to cap off a great round of rugby league with the NRLW Grand Final?
Look, massive crowd.
Yeah, huge. Sellout at Redcliffe.
Great game. We got new premiers for the first time in the history of the competition. All Sydney Grand Final. The ratings were tremendous this year. They came out during the week. It's just been a humongous success. We're well and truly on board. Looking forward to it later in the year and cannot wait to see the Sharkies.
Yeah, 2021 premiers are the Sydney Roosters, scraped into the finals.
On points differential, they needed both results to go their way on the final day. Thank the Broncos by knocking them out for the first time in the competition's history and then romp it in the second half.
Came from behind against the Broncos in the semi-finals, came from 4-0 down against the Dragons, shut them out. Look, I'm not bitter because Jamie Soward lost.
Look, I didn't really have a dog in this fight, so to speak, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, look, it's just good to see little brother losing again, even if it was little sisters this time.
Look, that's very true.
But entertaining, a great spectacle. Look, this was the 2021 season. Obviously, the women didn't get it last year. It was great for the NRL to put two competitions on for them this year. There's a break, and then it's back after State of Origin for the 2022
That's
season.
They go again. There'll be a fair few play movements too, which really should shake it up. You'd think, the Roosters are going to win again. A fair few moves. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is. Look, and I look forward to the 2022 season coming up as well. Absolutely. Excellent, well done, and congratulations to Sydney Roosters, the second ever premiers in the NRLW.
Good stuff.
Yeah, obviously the Cronulla Sharks destroyed the West Tigers. Didn't get out of second gear, but in the press conference, Michael Maguire was fighting for his future.
Oh, mate, look, the dead man walking is probably a little bit harsh, but not untrue. The guy didn't look like he wanted to be there today, much like his Tigers. I think it might be best for all and sunder if he just throws it in.
Now, look, we were on the hill, beautiful sunny day, but we asked the question. One, it looked like the players had down tools on the field and didn't want to be there. Two, who is there that can make the Tigers better?
I don't know. You got Adam Dewey coming back? Okay.
But in terms of coaching, who can make that Tigers team better?
Jeff Tooby's the guy I keep going back to. I cannot believe that guy doesn't have a job, but there must be something there that we're not seeing, or he won't coach anyone but Manly. I think he's the option.
Yeah, look, obviously Shane Flanagan is the one who I would say as well. The Tigers had a red-hot play at Cameron Ciraldo, and he's knocked them back, and I think, like Craig Fitzgibbon, he's waiting for that correct job to come up, or the opportunity to go to the Bulldogs later on down the track. But I don't know. I think it's more to the Tigers than coaching. There's so much more.
Mate, you put Craig Bellamy in there, and that team's still not making the 8. The roster is. And look, we decided before that we weren't going to pile on. It's deplorable. It's the worst roster in the NRL by a fair margin. We saw that on Sunday. Cronulla, they were okay. We weren't even that good, and the golfing class was ridiculous.
Yeah, and look, the only way they scored, they didn't threaten Cronulla all night. The only way they scored the try was that intercept right at the end. Ronaldo would have got shreds torn off.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that soon.
But Michael Maguire was in there saying the Tigers have to play the long game, and that's a man saying, "Please don't sack me." He still wants to be there. Like, that's the thing. He still wants to be there, but...
Look, you got to admire, because if it was me, I'd be off to Leeds or whoever just fired their coach tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'd just get me out of there. But we were walking back, as we'll talk about later, but the Tigers fans, none too happy with their performance.
No, now, things that we're not too happy about as well. I think the NRL, they love playing with the rules. They love changing things. It's time now to introduce a 5-minute sin bin.
Absolutely right.
The Junior Paulo sin bin on the weekend was, one, a diabolical decision, but two, if we're going to sin bin players for forceful contact to the head like that, it was an accident. That was a great shot that just slipped up. And you see AJ Brimson even saying, he hit me in the shoulder. The first contact was the shoulder, the second one was the head. If you're going to put him in the bin, 10 minutes was too much of a penalty for Junior Paulo to play. Now, I think a 5-minute sin bin, but don't send him back to the sheds. Have a chair, and he can sit there and watch his team getting cut up for 5 minutes before he can go back in. Because that's worse. One, he's humiliated. Two, you've got a camera on him, just sitting there watching him steaming on it. And 5 minutes, If you're going to bin him, that's all it was.
Sin bin cam. I love the way you think, Terry. Look, I 100% agree. I don't think it was a sin binning. We saw something very similar in our game with Hamlin-Uele. Again, I thought it was a head clash. And I was worried that when they blew the penalty, he was going to get sat down as well. That's another possible sin. I don't think it was a penalty, but if it was, 5 minute sin bin's fair enough.
But it was a head clash, and then the guy's head fell into Hamlin-Uele's chest. There was no contact with the shoulder.
No, it's very strange. We saw in the NRLW Grand Final too, a sin bin, where the lady actually fell into the tackle, like literally fell into the ground and caught it high. Now look, the rule says you got to sit down. 5 minutes is far, far fairer.
Yeah. So what was accidental contact to the head? Despite the fact that you have hit them in the head, you shouldn't be penalised for 10 minutes. 5 minutes.
Look, that's a set or two. That it's still a negative, but it doesn't completely change the game on you missed by that much. So I think we fixed rugby league yet again.
Yeah. Now, Kyle Flanagan made his long-awaited return to the Bulldogs in a loss to the Panthers. But the Dogs scored some points and they looked to have a bit of direction, and his kicking game took pressure off Matt Burton, who put in his best performance of the year.
Look, that's what it's all about. Now, the media coverage this year around this was borderline disgusting. You're throwing him to the Wolves, you this, you that. This is a bloke who's born to play rugby league. Anyone with that mentality isn't going to say, you know what, I don't want to play first grade this week because it might be a difficult game. Flano grabbed it to his credit and came out and played better than Averillo and every other option, and as you said, took the pressure off Burton, which is what his role was.
He's 23 years old. You turn around saying you're throwing him to the Wolves. Well, no, like Kyle Flanagan, when he was at the Roosters, was in okay form. When he was at the Sharks, he was in okay form. He went to the Bulldogs. He went to the worst team in the competition. The Bulldogs were wooden spooners for a reason. They haven't thrown him to the Wolves. They've just allowed Kyle Flanagan to go back to New South Wales Cup and gain some momentum. The Dogs are undefeated. He's playing good footy in the New South Wales Cup, and he came out against the Panthers and he played well.
Held his own.
That's the combination they have to work on.
They've got to stick with it. I don't want to see this dropsy, He was scapegoated 4 times last year, I think. It might have been 3, doesn't matter. Twice is one too many times.
Yeah.
During the week, in the media, it came out that Gus Gould made the decision to play Flanagan. Who's coaching that team?
Well, I mean, it's clearly not Trent Barrett.
Nor should it be. I think he's on borrowed time. He and Maguire, straight swap.
Nah, I think
that'd be pretty awful.
Yeah, it would be pretty awful. I think Gus Gould's got his eyes on Cameron Ciraldo.
Fair enough too. That's probably with the players he's got coming in. If they can get him under the salary cap, that's probably the role.
Now, the last point we're going to talk about as well. Obviously, it's come out. Marcelo Montoya has been charged for the sledge on Kyle Felt. Things get said on the football field all the time, but if it gets picked up on the referee's cam or on any of the Fox Sports cams, you've really got to be careful what you say. He said probably arguably the worst thing you could say to a player on the field. Yeah,
just pure stupidity. I mean, get up.
Yeah.
Get up. Like, how hard is it to leave it at that? Now, I know
there are so many other words he could have said.
Right, we were talking off camera about all the hilarious words he could have called him. But he picked the one that is a hateful and
derogatory claim.
Yeah, it can't be done. Now, they are talking 10 weeks. I think that might be a little bit harsh. But if they want to send a message, this will send a message.
It will send a message. Look, if he cops more than Mitch Barnett, I think it's an over-the-top reaction that, I mean, it's not a good look for the game. It's not a good look for the community that he's
insulted. Yeah,
insulted. Yeah, so he's gonna have a fair bit of time on the sideline to think about it.
Yeah, he is, and hopefully he does learn lessons from it because, as you said, it's not what we're about. It's not a good look for the game.
You're a silly boy, Marcelo. You'll have plenty of time to think about this. Just learn and grow. From the Sharks, look, I picked us to be around 7th or 8th. I think we're now a genuine top 4 threat. We've just got to see how the season rolls out for us. Now, the good thing as well is we've started to see our depth come into the lineup. We've had the likes of Matty Cavalu, Connor Tracy's been in there, Braden Trindle. Our forwards have been rotated a lot as well. It's at a point now where Teague Wilton can't be dropped, and neither can Britton Nakora. A couple of weeks ago, I wanted Nakora out of the team. Now I want him to re-sign. So we're seeing our depth. It's not as bad as we thought after that shellacking we got from Penrith.
Absolutely not. And the Jets are flying too. They won another humongous win on the weekend.
Yeah, Jersey Flag won again.
Undefeated, sitting top of the table. Things are going well, mate. But things are about to go really well if media reports are to be believed. 2 players off contract, 2 players being heavily sought after and linked with some big money, and it looks like they're both going to re-sign for Cronulla. for unders.
Yeah, Braden Hamilton has said that you can't put a price on culture, and Britt Nakora has said you can't put a price on playing for the Tigers.
Yeah. Tripling it ain't enough.
Yeah, hopefully those two boys stay. We're looking forward to it. But Dan, as you said, it's party time in the Shire.